Think before you fish. Fishing 101. Let's
Yes.
start.
Funny stories that happened at Bruley. When Calder was about 6 years old, over here, this guy, we were fishing in Douglas Bay for perch. And Calder happened to catch a big bass. And we went into Moody's Lodge, and there were all these people that came in with big boats and a lot of equipment and a lot of bait, but they weren't catching anything. And Calder wanted to show Betty Moody his big fish, his bass. So he carried it in to show Betty, and all these people descended upon him asking him questions. Where did you catch that? What kind of bait did you use? What time of day? And he said, well, I had a little piece of worm. And they all got crazy because they had all this equipment and they couldn't do anything with it. Now, what's another good story with Lauren? First time Lauren went fishing, we fished over by the rocks at the cliff, and she was only, oh God, maybe 4, about as tall as this table, I think. And she had a little yellow pole, and she was getting bored. We were catching some fish, but she didn't catch anything, and she said, "This is boring. I don't like fishing."
Lauren, you said
And
that?
then all of a
You
sudden,
said that, Lauren?
Yeah.
Tell me the truth. You said that?
Yes.
Then what happened? All of a sudden, she caught a fish, and the pole went, oh, like this, and she started screaming and holding on to them. She was on her hands and knees in the boat screaming. We reeled the fish in, and ever since then, she'd like to fish. What kind of fish?
And
do
you called her? Called her? What gave you the fishing bug? How old were you?
3.
I don't remember anything.
Why do you
Okay.
like to fish? Any idea?
It's fun. You catch things. Fish.
You want to tell a story, Calder, about the bed? How about the perch bed story?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Why don't you tell it, Calder?
Well, go ahead.
Hold on. I need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Bart, come on, don't get your hat down.
What's going
Come on,
here?
let's hear a little bit about your Bruley experiences here. I see you on that bicycle every day. How far do you ride?
I ride down to the lumber store and back every day.
How long have you been riding?
Bicycle.
Yeah,
Since I was Lauren's age.
since you were Lauren's age. Have you done races, or
No, I don't do any bicycle racing.
what kind of racing do you do?
I race motocross.
Motocross. Do you have any good stories about motocross racing? No, you've got to have a story about
Or
that.
2.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, I can't think of any offhand.
How about with your son motocross racing?
We
Any danger times?
oh, there's always some danger. We used to go to the races, and usually he'd win a trophy in his class, and I'd win in my class.
It's great.
And we'd all both have the same size trophies.
How
So,
tall were those trophies?
well, all different sizes.
The biggest one I saw was about 4 feet high, wasn't it?
How tall?
Well, they were holding one that's about maybe 4 feet.
Oh my gosh.
Now,
And-
Josh is now 30 years old.
No, he's 28.
He's 28. And I remember Josh when he was just a little guy, about 2.5 or maybe, yeah, around 2.5, and he had his first motorcycle. When he was 2.5, he called it the Momo. He used to push it with his legs. And Bart, when did you buy him his first real motorcycle?
When he was 6.
6 years old.
6 years old?
Yeah.
You
he
bought
was
him a
on the-
motorcycle? I'm not
he was
taping
on
this for the kids, let me
Yes,
tell you.
Yeah.
Where were you
Okay.
living at that
We
time?
lived on the farm in Wellington, so there's lots of places to ride it.
That's right.
He did not ride it on the street.
Thank you, Bart.
Yes.
So
Safety, always wore all of his equipment, helmets, leathers, he had it all. He only rode the dirt paths, way back.
Good.
That's how Josh really got his experience.
Well, Josh had a friend. Josh had a friend that had a motorcycle. They were the same age. Went to school together. And his friend had one the same as what he had. And they would get together after school and they'd want to go ride around the farm. But they couldn't find any mud sometimes, so they'd find a low spot and they'd go to the spigot and they'd get buckets of water and they'd pour it in a low spot to make a mud puddle. Then they'd ride back and forth through the mud.
Isn't that wild?
Okay, we won't. Good thing Grandma Walker's not here today to hear these stories.
I'm back.
Well,
Thanks,
Calder's
Bart.
back.
Hold on, we're
Fishing.
picking up from where we left off on the fishing.
Okay.
Alright.
You were down in Douglas Bay.
Yep, we were down in Douglas Bay fishing for perch, and I caught a perch, and then I was reeling it in, and then this huge bass about like this big swam right up to it, and it just ate the perch. And then, so it's like a hook, then a perch, then a bass. And then I started reeling it in, but the weight of the fish was too much because the hook wasn't in the bass. It was in the perch. So,
Which the bass?
yeah, which the bass ate. So then we just, I couldn't get it up from the surface. So I just reeled it in, then we pulled the perch out of its stomach. And then that was the end.
And landed the perch, a little perch, and lost the big bass.
The end.
The end. Disappointing day.
The end. Now I want everyone to look for our sequel to Think Before You Fish,
Yes.
coming soon at your nearest
I am.
Betty Moody's party.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing it. Well, come on.
Happy
Lord.
25th. Are you 25?
Yes, I am 25.
That's not
How old are you? How old are you, Betty?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I
Don't tell
would.
me.
I've been really
You've
good.
been asking me ever since I married him.
And I never knew.
Yes, you
She
did.
won't
I
tell your
told
age.
you.
Well, that, you said 75
Take it
a
out.
few years back.
Yes, I do.
She does.
Wear that. She
Black
looks good
and
in that
white.
color.
She does, black and white.